meditation. What is it good for? So last month I challenged myself to try something called mindful eating, and I tried this for a week, and you guys really liked the video because I documented it all and uploaded it onto YouTube. If you haven't seen it yet, links down there. I was mainly just curious about what it is, what it was, why people tried it, why people swear by it, and I noticed some very impressive results. And let me tell you this now, it's been almost a month and I've continued doing mindful eating because it seemed so logical and it seemed right, like it seemed sensible, like it seemed like something that I should have been doing my whole life. It seemed like something everyone should be doing. Easy and healthy, and I've now lost 6 pounds. Obviously that's not groundbreaking figures, but I'm not changing my diet. I'm not changing anything about what I eat. But there was a comment on that video and someone said, why don't you try meditation? Which isn't a comment that's surprising to see on a video about mindful eating, because meditation is very similar. They have very similar principles, because it's all about listening to the mind and choosing to stop and take yourself away from the happenings going on in the room, the happenings going on in your life, what your brain is like getting distracted by, and all of the intense thoughts you're having about daily stresses and about your life. They are put on a pause so you can collect your thoughts a little bit better. I went into this challenge doing a little bit of research first because I thought that was necessary, and obviously I learned quite quickly all of the statistics about like our brain and how quickly it works and how much it works and what we put it through, and the fact that we never ever have our brain on charge. I wanted to see if I could put myself in the present moment more often, because I struggle a lot of anxiety and I think a lot in the future. I'm constantly worrying about what other people think. I'm constantly worrying about the next moment opposed to the current one I'm having now. So meditation is all about just sitting in a space, sitting in a quiet area and just letting things currently be. I wanted to become a master at existing around environments where things are going on, but I don't have to make attachments to them, because meditation is about hearing things going on, seeing things going on, but being okay with that on its own, you know, not letting your mind run wild with those things. At first I was going to try it for a week, just one little week, 7 days of meditating, fairly normal to me. But as the experiment went on, I realized there is a lot of room for improvement, and I don't think that results will start showing in a week. So I did push it to 2 weeks, but even then 2 weeks doesn't seem like a lot either. So I set my goal for 12 days of meditating. Every single day I was going to sit down and meditate, and I told myself that I would stop if I felt like I'd come to some sort of conclusion and kind of like learning curve. Then I will finish and I will keep this video at 2 weeks long. So enjoy my journey, enjoy watching how I got on, and strap in, grab your biscuits, grab your cup of teas. You're gonna need them because it's a pretty long one. Hello and welcome to day 1 of meditation. So I've got my space ready. Ta-da! I moved my coffee table out the way, so I've got loads of rug space. And let me tell you this, guys, I haven't even started meditating yet, and it's already changed my life. I took one look at the rug and I thought to myself, this rug is very dirty. I hoovered the rug and now I have a clean rug. No, but really, I cannot stand hoovering, so anything that makes me want to pick up the hoover and hoover is a pretty big achievement. But I thought if like one of the main important things of meditation is to be in a really like nice space and to feel very comfortable, I figured it's probably wise to make the place look as nice and snug as possible. And I will start off by saying this practice isn't 100% new to me, because I do practice like light meditation for when I do tarot readings. I like to get in a headspace where I'm like focused and concentrating. I'm hoping that doing this daily for a while, for 7 whole days, is going to start showing some differences. And what I'm gonna do is just kind of log in how I feel to you guys, what my headspace is doing, how I'm feeling. It's January, so it's like my least favorite time of the year because of seasonal depression. But if I'm gonna be honest right now, I'm thinking what I've got that I need to get done. I'm also thinking like emails that I need to send, people I need to talk to. I'm stressing about something that I've got going on tomorrow as well. Always thinking ahead of time, which is why I wanted to take part in this. I've never been able to fully meditate without those distracting thoughts, which is what meditation is supposed to be about. It's supposed to, from what I've researched, make you aware of your thoughts but never focused on them. So let them be, but then have your concentration be on just being. And I am new to this, so be kind with me. And I think for my first day of this, what I'm going to be doing is some guided meditation. By the end of this video, I want to be able to meditate in complete silence by my own memory on what I'm supposed to do and how to meditate. And in 7 days, I think that will be quite hard to achieve, but I want to do some guided meditation first and then move into just music and then move into absolute quiet. And I've only ever meditated for the sake of manifesting. And I don't know how many of you guys know this, but the law of attraction is basically a thing where you concentrate on what you want so much in your life that you manifest it into reality. And that is the only time I've meditated really before I have one of those like sessions, I suppose you want to call them. So I've never meditated for just the sake of meditating. And that is a key thing here, because that's such an Ellie thing. Like, I only meditate for the sake of something else. Like, everything in my life, I always try and give it double purpose, and I believe I got that from my mum. It's a good trait to have, but sometimes it can be a bit toxic because you tend to not do things for just yourself, just because it feels good, just because it's fun. You tend to think, if I do this, I will be able to make money, make an entertaining video, be good for my self-care, bond with the person that I'm going to go do it with, keep fit. Like, all of these things I try and bunch together to give me more purpose of doing things, when really I should just do them for the sake of something like my mental health. And there is so much research into why meditation is good for your soul, mind, illness, disease. It can, honestly, like, why they don't teach meditation in schools as just like, I mean, it's as important as learning mathematics. Like, it's something so necessary. I'm gonna try to do this. It's 15 minutes long. I think that's probably quite long to start your first meditation properly with, but I do know time's supposed to feel a lot longer when you first start meditation, and when you get into meditation, you can sit there for like an hour and you don't even realize an hour has gone by, which is something I need to do, because for me, my brain is always at wasted time. Like, if I sit watching TV for an hour, I'm like, oh my god, like, I could have done so much productivity. It's a blessing and a curse. It means I get things done, but it also means I beat myself up if I don't. You can keep your eyes open, you can keep them shut, but for this, I'm going to keep them shut. I hope no one comes to the door.
Many of us have a very fixed idea of what meditation is. Meditating is becoming attuned to yourself, finding peace and stillness in the midst of a hectic world. Give yourself permission now to stop planning, expecting, and reacting. Just be. On your next breath in, imagine your breath as a white light or cool breeze. Feel it surge through your body, touching the places where you carry tension away.
It wasn't anything about visualizing anything. Like, a lot of meditation that I want to get into eventually is like visualizing stuff, seeing stuff, and like feeling things and going on like journeys and adventures and stuff. It sounds crazy, but that's something that I find so fascinating when it comes to meditation. But he was speaking about just being aware of what your body is feeling, how it feels, what it's doing. He also mentioned how meditation's good for people who are so in the mind of others, you know, worrying about what people are going to react, how they're going to react to you, how they're going to talk to you and think of you. And that is something that I didn't know meditation could help with, and I have so many issues with being in other people's heads all the time. Like, I'm always worried. Everything I say and do, I'm always thinking about the receiving end. I'm like, how are they going to respond? How are they going to react? So it's quite nice to know that meditation might be the answer for that. He also mentioned that everyone finds their own ways of meditating. Like, you can meditate in a chair, you can meditate on the floor, you can meditate on a cushion, you can meditate in a garden. I have meditated in the bath before. That must be something I've just naturally gravitated towards. I love meditating in the bath. Is that just Ellie saying 2 birds in 1 stone again? Because I want to be like having a bath but also meditating. I couldn't work out if it was this light that I've got on. I might have to try and like make sure that's as dim as possible next time, because I kept on, imagine my hands are light and it was going like dim, bright, and then as I got further into the meditation, that moved from like just one side, and like the light kept going past me in like strips of light, and strips of darkness kept on like floating over my face. I don't know whether that's something wrong with my eyes, because I know you're not supposed to see lights, and if you do, then that's not good. And my optician always tells me that. I think the only thing I took from this is I just feel accepting for what's to come a little bit more, just that little tiny bit more. Thoughts were like popping into my head. Like at one point I was thinking whilst meditating, I was like, is this video going to be interesting? Will people care? And immediately I was like, no, you're getting out of the moment, rein back in, like understand it's there. Now let's focus back in on my breathing and how I feel, how my body feels, and focus on the music. I think music's a massive thing for me to help me rein back in, so I don't know how I'm gonna be able to do this in silence. I don't know, but we might get there eventually. Fingers crossed we will. Hello, it is day 2. Yesterday I had like an issue of just kind of like relaxing because my back was hunched over and I felt like I wanted something to lean on. I also don't have a ring light on anymore. I don't have like a light in my face to light up the situation, but you can still see me, so it's fine. Just because I was seeing like glowing, flashing lights in my eyes, and I don't usually see that if I've got my eyes closed normally when I go to sleep. So I want to try and see if that was anything to do with the light in my face. I'm not gonna lie to you, I didn't really want to do this today. I was like, oh, I should probably do the meditation thing. Honestly, I have such a hard time with trying to justify things that I don't need to get done. Like, I've got other things I need to do today. I've got someone coming over in a minute. I don't really want to sit here and meditate for 10 minutes. The flat is messy and I want to tidy the flat instead. But rein myself back in. Oh, 14 minutes? That's pretty good. How's this gonna sound? I'm very picky with my voices.
So now, the easiest way to get into the meditative state.
He sounds like Hitchcock. Love that. I will see you on the flip side.
Just listen to the general hum and buzz of the world as if you were listening to music. Don't try to identify the sounds you're hearing. Don't put names on them. Simply allow them to play with your eardrums. But it's important that you don't try to repress those thoughts by forcing them out of your mind, because that will have precisely the same effect as if you were trying to smooth rough water with a flat iron. You're just going to disturb it all the more. So look at your own thoughts as just noises, and soon you will find that the so-called outside world and the so-called inside world come together. They are a happening. Your thoughts are a happening, just like the sounds going on outside. And everything is simply a happening, and all you're doing is watching it.
Oh! I certainly feel a lot more spaced out and trippy after that one. It was really interesting because he kind of spoke about the secret to what is a a state of meditating. This video was a good practice for me when I do this in silence, because he spoke about how it's listening to stuff going on around you, taking in noises as just happenings. So when something entered my mind, I could just hear it for what it is, a sound. I don't have to, you know, act on it, overthink it, or analyze. So I really liked that. It will give me good practice for when I do it in silence, and it made me kind of excited to see what it's like to meditate in silence, because I felt a lot more deeper in this one. I don't know whether that's just because he had a nicer voice, the music was nice, or something like that. I'm excited about seeing where this goes, considering it's made a difference in just 2 days. There was a moment where I felt very just zoned out. Like, I could hear things, but they were just kind of like murmurs. They didn't mean much. I could feel myself kind of slipping, not into sleep, but like into just like, it felt like unconsciousness, and I kind of got scared and stopped, and then like stepped back out of it. Like, I stopped myself from going into that. Over time, I would like to just have the full confidence to drop in eventually. That would be really cool, just to see how it would feel. But I did feel myself kind of getting a little bit like on edge about doing that. I don't really know why. What was I expecting to happen? Like the ground eat me up? In the past, when I've meditated, I've just visualized roots growing from my legs and my feet, reaching the core of the earth. Like, that's how I've learned meditation to be. But none of these guided meditations have done that yet. And I'm excited to get to the point where maybe like when I'm not meditating and I hear people's words and I hear my own thoughts, I will take some of the practice from meditation into like normal daily life, because I am an overthinker. So I'm interested to see if this intertwines with my daily life. When he actually stopped talking as well and there was just music playing, I found myself doing some stuff that I learned in yesterday's guided meditation, because she mentioned something to do with breathing in healing energy, and visualizing that healing energy working its way around your body, like feeling it kind of like go down your arms and then your legs and then your toes. And I imagined it like circulating around my knee because I got a bad knee. So when there was silence, I found myself remembering what she said and doing that and trying that. So obviously I'm learning as I go, and I'm remembering to pick up things I've learned before, and hopefully I'll be able to put that into practice properly when I'm just listening to music. Same place, different day. Yesterday's meditation did a lot. Like, I felt calm for the rest of the day. I felt really good, in a good place. I just felt at peace with everything. Today I'm a little bit stressed because I'm dealing with stuff. Basically, brands don't pay up as quickly as you assume they do. When you see a YouTuber do like a sponsored video, you might assume they already have that money in their bank. They do not. A lot of us end up waiting weeks, months, sometimes just to get paid. Like, can you imagine doing that? Like, your boss just knocking on your door and being like, can I pay you like 2 months later than I'm supposed to? And what makes it worse is the money I'm waiting for is just to go towards my bills. It will 100% not even be seen by me. I'm just gonna pay it straight to my landlord, straight to the government, straight to bloody electricity. So it's like a real kick in the damn teeth. So like, I'm a little bit stressed because I've had arguments over email, and I've also not heard like the opposite. Like, I'm not hearing from people, and I am so close to exposing their damn asses online because they're doing my actual head in. But no, I can feel stress like boiling up inside. So I didn't really want to meditate. I'm not in the space to be like, oh, let's be calm and meditate. Now I've just spilled coffee down my sleeve. I'm going to kill a bitch. I also just tried doing the washing up to be productive, and I broke glass in my hand. Today is just a testing day. These are thoughts and feelings that go on behind the scenes that you don't hear of, so that's the whole point of doing this, and that's what I'm gonna continue to do. I'm going to continue documenting how I feel and how much I want to kill somebody. I had to pay my taxes today. I've got no money. I also had to pay train tickets, which were really expensive for something that I had to do. I'm gonna give this a try. I will see you guys on the flip side. Ooh.
It's good to know that you're unconscious and balancing. Change is a natural aspect of life, like a tree that lets go of its leaves. The seasons changing. Imagine now that you're breathing in that life energy through the soles of your feet. I wonder if you can imagine yourself walking on a warm beach, that there is a thick rope tied around your waist. Behind you at the end of the rope, there is a big old anchor that weighs heavy from accumulated thoughts, worries, and fears from the past and about the future. They hinder you. They have held you back. Ahead of you, there is a person approaching. It is you 1 month from now. Notice how relaxed that future you feels. That balanced energy is emanating from that you over there. The future you comes towards you and gives you the warmest, most compassionate hug that you have felt in a long time. The future you says, thank you. Thank you for taking care of me. I love you.
You cannot tell, but my face is wet. This is gonna sound like this is some sort of advert for meditation. He made you envision walking along a beach, and he had a rope tied around you, and the rope had an anchor on the end of it, and it was supposed to represent all the things that hold you back, like your worries and your anxieties. You envision finding a golden blade on the beach, and you cut the rope off and watch and feel that release behind you. Oh, but what got me, there was a part where he then said you continue walking down the beach and you see someone in front of you, and I turned, and as he said, it's you see you, I saw me for some reason with blue and purple hair. It was short, my fringe was pushed back, which is what I usually do when I'm in hot temperatures or like hot countries, and I'm glowing. I'm wearing a white dress for some reason with no rope attached to it, and I'm like beaming oh my god, I don't even know where I'm gonna put this up because this is really embarrassing. But I look back at myself smiling and I just cried. I didn't even know what he was getting at first. I just saw me and I cried. And then he continued by saying, she looks at you and says, thank you for what you've done today to make me who I am now. I think it made me cry because it made me see me as somebody else for the first time, and when you do that, it makes you want to do the best you can for future you. Like, I saw future me looking so happy, and I felt from myself when I stood in front of me someone who was like, don't worry about those things you're worrying about now, they get sorted, they're fine, I sorted them. It's almost like I gave myself comfort, but the difference is the comfort isn't somebody else sorting out for me, it's myself telling me that I have the power today to be that person who was in front of me. This is why I wanted to do meditation, if I'm honest, for like really crazy experiences like that, which is why I have so much fascination and interest in my dreams. We can have like incredible powerful dreams where we connect with dead relatives, and that itself can bring us so much comfort, and it can also tell us about how we may still be grieving without realizing it. And I think seeing myself like that so clearly and getting this like feeling out of nowhere of like, wow, you look so good and so happy, and then that quick realization of I could be that's me in the future. I have the power to be her right this second. But I'm really glad I stopped to do this because stresses I had earlier on honestly have faded. This time it did take me longer to slip into it and like relax. By the way, can I just say, because I was so like built up before, however, at the end of this session, when he was saying to combine you with future you, step into one another, I started seeing flashing lights like up in the corner of my eyes, and I don't know if that's just my eyes being crazy. He said, feel the light around your head radiate, and I was like, damn, I'm seeing it, so what? I don't know if anyone can relate to this, but when I close my eyes and try and meditate, sometimes my eyelids are like so active that they try and open themselves up again. Like, I have struggle relaxing my eyelids, but I'm still seeing shadows when I close my eyes and meditating. I'm seeing like what I saw today for the first time was, it looked like a horizon, and then a person kind of like walking and then stopping and turning and like sinking back into like nothingness. Pro meditators tell me if shadows are a normal thing, but I feel very calm and at peace. Like, I genuinely met myself and I looked great. I almost felt like I saw how I'm going to look when I'm in heaven, because he also said they hug you in the most embracing hug you've ever had, and I felt it from me, and that was like the best hug to receive, like one from yourself. Like, you're gonna be great, you're gonna be fine, you literally will be. This isn't a hope, this is a you will be. Am I going mad? I think I'm going mad. Anyway, I should go. I find meditating in the bath a lot easier because you kind of are relaxed anyway, so it's not such like a big transitional thing. So I'm wondering if it's going to feel more powerful now I've practiced meditation out of the bath. The kind of meditation I usually do in the bath is manifesting meditation. So I'm picking a almost 30-minute meditation this time. It is like 27 minutes long. So I've come out the bath now, and I couldn't actually relax and concentrate. I kept on like scratching my face because I could feel droplets on it and they were falling down. It was making me itchy. Then I had like water like tickling my back when I was lying there, and it's weird because I've never had those problems before. I think it was because it was such a long meditation, and I kept on like having to rub my eyes. But yeah, I like to kind of visualize what I want to bring into my life and visualize how that feels and what it looks like, and imagine myself having those things I really want to bring in and manifest. But she was just kind of saying to look at the body that you want, the person that you want to be, and step inside it. And that was basically it for half an hour. She was just getting at that. Although I think I'm gonna stick to meditating outside of the bar from now on, because there's less distractions when you just sat there and there's nothing tickling you. Now I've experienced what it truly feels like to get lost in a meditation state, I now know that I can't go as deep when I'm in the bath trying to meditate. So I've learned something new today. As this is guided meditation awakening the mind.
If you simply close your eyes, just listen to the general hum and buzz of the world.
How do you feel?
I've got a massive headache.
Really?
My head's killing.
It's literally had the opposite impact to you.
No, I don't like that.
Really?
I also don't like the noises they were making. They were like...
Well, I found that really hard to do with someone else in the room, I'll say that. See, when I did it on my own, it went like that. Sat next to you, I kept on opening my eyes, I couldn't focus, and it was dragging. I was like, oh my god, how long is this 14 minutes? Oh. Hello, so I just did the longest session of meditation I've ever done. That was half an hour this time, and it's starting to fly by when I really get into it. And now I've kind of got to know how I like to meditate, so on my own, in a cozy space, like either with my back against something, but if I'm not against something, like I like to be sat somewhere that's cozy on my butt and on my own, and just like the door closed and no distractions, and I can really get in the zone. And I didn't necessarily enjoy this one too much. It was about manifesting again. It was another manifestation one. There wasn't as much like focus on things that you desire and want to bring in as much as I'd liked. So once again, it's about like looking until you find the stuff that you resonate the most with and everything. So I think very, very soon I'm going to be doing no guided meditation. I'm going to go straight into just music, and I'm going to work on the stuff myself that I liked the most and resonated the most from the guided stuff, and see if I can do this all on my own. I believe we're now just over a week and a half into meditating every single day, and I think I will also say I don't like doing it at night time. I think it's a good way to start my day, because it starts me like at night time. It kind of zones me down, makes me ready for sleep, and I felt myself like kind of drifting off. But in the morning, kind of wakes me up, makes me feel positive, makes me ready for the day. I feel like it's nicer to meditate at the sun as well. At one point in this video, I would like to meditate somewhere out in public, but I can't really work out where I'd want to be for that without making an absolute fool of myself. Like, I can't switch off very easy if I'm sat in a room with someone else meditating, so how am I going to be like in public? Like, I don't know if that's going to work. So for me, I think it took public meditating for me to realize something about this whole experiment. And like a lot of spiritual and, you know, the subconscious mind and trying to get in tune with that, the less rules you put with it, the better you'll end up doing. because you're listening to like your natural responses instead of like pushing something to work and making something work. I think that the key is with meditation is that a lot of it really does just come naturally. Like you know, there's certain things that you probably grow up realizing that naturally calms you. Like for me, car journeys, like a lot of people don't like car journeys. I really like them because I've never really understood why or like what the meaning is behind it, but I've known they've always calmed me down and I zone out. Like I can be in a passenger seat for 2 hours. I mean, I can't be driving, but I could be in a passenger seat and I could zone out for 2 whole hours, and like I will just be staring out the window looking at the sights and like what's going past and just kind of like looking. I mean, I'll be thinking every now and again or stuff, but the stuff wouldn't really be like overwhelming. It would just kind of sit in the background of my head and I could just like look at things, stare at things, watch things go by. And I didn't really know that is a form of meditation in a sense, and that's just, I guess, like what is soothing to me, like the feeling of being in a car in transport and seeing things go by and stuff. You know, I've never really thought that was meditation, but I guess it is. And being out in the public has made me realize that it, you know, even if I've got my eyes open and I'm watching things go by, like there's so many people walking by and loads of dogs and stuff, which I really like. You know, like that's not textbook meditation and that's not like how you're taught to meditate, but if sitting here is just as soothing, listening to the sea is just as soothing and triggers the same kind of things that meditation is supposed to trigger, like you just taking in the sights and taking in the sounds and looking at the doggies and just taking a step back from like the rush of general day-to-day life, then that is your form of meditation. So I think the more you listen to what your body is just drawn towards, and I think even though I'm here at the beach now, I would rather be probably in the countryside. That's like where I feel most peace, and I just love being amongst like nothingness and just green and hearing like the sounds of just nothing and like the distant sounds of the city and stuff, but like not actually, I don't even like hearing that. I just like hearing maybe like bugs in the background and birds and stuff. That's my place, and that's where I need to be if I want to distance myself from the daily hustle and bustle and everything that goes on. So I think I would just recommend to people to try everything that they can first and find out what works best for you and what makes you feel most like what meditation's supposed to bring. Does that make sense? So the really interesting thing about this challenge and this experiment I decided to set myself was that the conclusion of why people meditate and what meditation means and how it can benefit people's lives, particularly mine, is how I actually came to that conclusion. And it wasn't until I tried and tested a lot of ways. I did it the textbook way, I followed the rules, I did my research, I looked things up and tried to perfect the way I was doing it. I was trying to improve myself in meditating, but actually the best form of meditating and the most natural way of meditating was when it was down to my own terms. You know, a certain position of the way I sat didn't mean that I was going to have a better session. Where I was didn't mean it was going to change anything. You're not going to feel more in touch with your spiritual side if you're group meditating or if you do it in the bath. In fact, some of those things are going to be big distractions to you. But that's only if that's the way you work. If you feel yourself drawn towards the beach or the countryside or your bed or the front room or just your back garden, even on the bus, in a car, if those things put you in a perspective of being in the moment and enjoying the moment, if walking your dog allows you to concentrate on anything but what's going on in your life and your massive to-do list and all of the things that you want to achieve this month and where your life's heading, then walking your dog is your form of meditation. That being said, I think that the methods of meditation, of what you should think about, how you should concentrate on your breath and different techniques I've learned along the way, like it's good to visualize like roots coming out of your feet, white light filling the whole of your body. Like those are good meditation techniques to allow you to focus on just feeling and being and existing. There isn't also a set time, like when you should meditate, how often you should meditate. These are things I found myself looking up, like online, asking people, when will the benefits start kicking in? Like how many days a week do I need to meditate? For how many days do I need to meditate for me to start seeing benefits? All of these questions built up in my brain, but it wasn't until I saw the methods that worked for me and actually gave me instant benefits, I realized that your body itself, I think, will tell you when the best time to meditate is. So when I was stressed and when I had a lot going on in my mind and when I felt foggy and like demotivated and when I couldn't concentrate, that's when I needed it. I had to push myself during those moments when I didn't want to do the challenge to really understand when meditation is important. There will be days when meditation isn't necessary, like I just took part because I was doing this challenge, but then I came out of it feeling the same as I did when I went in. What trial and error will also teach you is the best times, what works best for you. I thought meditation seems like more of like an evening thing because it's like calming you down, but I found it gave me a lot of focus. So if you feel like meditation brings you focus and a positive light on the rest of the day and you feel quite uplifted, then that's probably a good thing to do in the morning. And I really appreciated it in the morning opposed to in the evening when I did it. It kind of just made me feel a little bit groggy afterwards. From this experiment, I personally learned there isn't a set way or a set thing when it comes to this. No time of day is the perfect time, no position is the perfect position, no place is the perfect place, outside, inside, in the passenger seat, meditating as a group, meditating in the bath, and that's the whole point of it. That's the whole point of being mindful in general. It's just hearing what your body is drawn to, what your body wants, and what your body is trying to tell you. Like your body's saying, I'm stressed, I've got a lot on my mind, I need to stop a second. Is music necessary? Is this music in the background annoying, even though it's called calming music to help you meditate? Is it helping your meditation? Is your brain like, this is distracting? Turn the music off. I think that's the key. To understand what it means to meditate, to understand what meditation is, being in the moment, is feeling the sensations of things going on around you, but your job is to identify how you find that best. I personally think public meditation is something that I thought would be really scary and I wouldn't want to do ever, but then when I did it, I realized it's probably one of my best methods of meditation. It helps me feel more spiritual and feel more in the moment because I am surrounded by so many happenings and things are going on. My senses are, I didn't need a guided meditation person in my ear or music playing to meditate at all because I had the noise of the birds, people, dogs, the sea, the wind. And also public meditation allows an opportunity of many distractions around you, and that can really test on your skills of meditating. So if you get quite good at it, then things like someone walking past you or even saying hello or sitting down next to you at the bench won't be a frustration. You don't have to get wound up because your concentration has been broken. You just have to let it be, open your eyes, understand that that's happened, that's okay, smile, close your eyes again. Because the minute you get better at little practices like that, you start implementing it into your everyday life. You start seeing things happen around you when you're not meditating and you just take them as they are. You don't get as frustrated when you're making a tea and you spill it everywhere and it goes everywhere on the surface and you're like, it helps you ground yourself. I think that's what I've learned most, and that's what I want to take personally from meditation the most. Things like swimming and certain sports I can imagine really helping with that. Like I can see some people even saying that jogging is a massive form of meditation to them because they're just thinking about like how they feel their body running and moving and the cold breeze from the air, their hot back, and the views that they're seeing while doing it, the music they're listening to. Like there's so many forms of it. So many of you guys took part in the mindful eating challenge. I'm getting so many messages from people saying that they're still mindful eating, they've lost weight, or their habits with food is healthier and they're realizing benefits from doing it, blah blah blah. I would love to set you guys the challenge to try meditation, see what you learn from it, see what you take from it, and see if you come to the same conclusions as me or different ones. I'm open to your thoughts, and if you currently meditate, I want to know, everything about what you think of it. Leave it all in the comments. Like I want to have a discussion about it and talk to each other as well. So I want to thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys for my next video, which will be very, very soon. Join me on social media such as Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram if you want to follow me on behind the scenes kind of things. I also have Patreon and I do tarot readings. There is currently a special Valentine's tarot reading offer going on my channel to see what's in the cards for you in terms of you and your boyfriend or girlfriend, or if you're a single ready to mingle, we can look into that for you, and I will see you guys very soon. Bye bye.